our dear viewers, and welcome to a new edition of Africa Today. And we'll start our episode with this report where Cairo said it was important to push towards political settlement in Libya. That came after a vote of confidence in the interim government last week. Libya's parliament voted to back the unity government led by interim Prime Minister Abdelhamid Dbeibah. More in the following report.
Cairo said pushing towards political settlement in Libya and maintaining a Libyan dialogue to limit foreign interferences in the country is important. El-Sisi called Mohammed al-Menfi, the chairman of Libya's Presidential Council, to congratulate him for the formation of the new executive power in the country and for the vote of confidence in the new unity government led by interim Prime Minister Abdelhamid Dbeibah. He affirmed the necessity of building upon positive steps towards political settlement in Libya. El-Menfi reportedly expressed appreciation towards Egyptian efforts towards restoring security and stability, as well as achieving development in Libya under the two countries' historic relations. He also reportedly affirmed the new executive power's keenness on continuing the bolstering of bilateral ties. Last week, Libya's parliament voted to back the unity government led by interim Prime Minister Dbeibah. The parliament approved Dbeibah's cabinet by 132 votes to 2 against during a session in the city of Sirte. Last month, Cairo welcomed the outcome of a UN-sponsored voting that led to the selection of a Libyan interim government with the hope of ending a decade-long civil war in the North African country. Cairo said it was looking forward to working with the interim government in the upcoming period until the transfer of power to an elected government can take place.
And moving from the situation in Libya to the archaeological sites in Egypt, where an old monastic site was discovered in Egypt's Bahira Oasis. Described as the oldest archaeologically attested monastic site in the whole world. The site consists of 6 sectors constructed predominantly of basalt blocks and mud bricks, as well as number of buildings which are dug partially or completely in geological substratium. More details about this archaeological discovery in the following report by Samah Sharif.
A new discovery at the site of Tel Ganoub Qasr al-Aguz is perhaps the oldest archaeologically attested monastic site, not only in Egypt but in the world. The statement was made by Victor Gicha, professor in antiquity and early Christian studies and the head of the Norwegian-French Archaeological Mission. The site is located some 370 kilometers southwest of Cairo in the Bahariya Oasis and has seen 3 seasons of excavation. Director of the Islamic, Coptic and Jewish Antiquities sector, Osama Talat, said that the site consists of 6 sectors constructed predominantly of basalt blocks and mud bricks, and a number of buildings which are dug partially or completely in the geological substratum. Victor Gicha, the director of the mission, explains that the closest Roman period archaeological sites are between 2.4 and 3.8 kilometers away, making the site somewhat isolated. It is the isolation, as well as the organization of the internal areas of each sector, the presence of the remains of 3 churches, and the graffiti and dipinti on the walls in sectors 1 and 6 that indicate the monastic nature of the community that lived there. He said the first sector is the first to have been excavated and that it comprises a hermitage constructed in 5 phases, spanning from the first half of the 4th century to the 7th century. Based on stratigraphy, radiocarbon analysis, ceramic assemblages, and coins, the foundation date of the earliest stage of this hermitage can be situated around the mid-4th century, making it the oldest preserved Christian monastic site that has been dated with certainty.
To shed light on the situation in Libya, we are very much delighted to have with us over the phone Ambassador Gamal Bayoumi, former Assistant Foreign Minister. Ambassador Bayoumi, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Ambassador Bayoumi, how important to Egypt is the stability of Libya?
Libya is in the first circle of our foreign policy interests. It is the neighbor countries, it's Libya, Sudan, and Palestine.
Yeah.
Of course, then you come to the Arab Circle, the African, the Euro-Mediterranean, and others. So Libya is very dear to us, very close to us. 2 million Egyptians were living in Libya. If you drive your car on the desert road between Cairo and Alexandria, you will meet hundreds of cars coming and going to Libya.
Yes.
So it's not just a neighbor country. Then
Yes.
it is also the immediate national security of Egypt, and it's quite clear if you follow what our president was saying lately.
Yes.
Red tape, if anybody comes near our western border.
Yes.
And I'm glad really that the Libyan now took the lesson that they have to look to the country, not to the tribes.
Yes.
This is a disease in Africa that many people are looking to the tribe or the families and not to the flag and the country.
Yes.
We succeeded in Egypt to gather them, all the different factions of Libya. They have several conferences in Egypt.
Yes.
And with a country in the size of Egypt, of course, they come to reason. They come now to choose a government which, thank God, got the approval of the parliament.
Yes.
So I think Libya now, and again, is on the right track. And let us continue supporting this attitude until Libya comes back to the normal big country.
Yes.
Because Libya is not a poor country at all. They can depend on themselves for their stability and for their development.
Yes. Mr. Ambassador, to what extent the situation in Libya is impacting the neighboring countries and the whole region?
It is very important because it is part of the Eastern Mediterranean dimension. And of course, we are following the new discoveries of gas and oil. Libya is a big, good and important partner in our electric net connection between Baghdad through the Gulf coming to Egypt and Libya up till Morocco. We are on the point to export electricity to Europe from this huge project connecting the electric net between the Arab world and to the south, to Africa, whether to Sudan, to Tanzania, Congo, and inshallah with Ethiopia. So Libya is very important as a country in the middle of all of this.
Yes.
And it is a very good new dimension for the Arab trade in energy, so whether it is electricity or gas. Also, Libya is in the middle of an ambitious developing program, and we have all what Libya needs to support this program for the sake of the Libyan people, and I think they are in a point that in no time Libya can bring itself to much better situation and to make every Libyan citizen feel that he is living much better than before.
Yes, indeed. Ambassador Bayoumi, how do you weigh the recent steps actually taken with regards to endorsing the interim government in Libya?
I must confess to you, I am honest here, I am honestly optimistic, but with a little bit reservation.
Yes.
It is a good step, but it's not enough. We have a long way to go. I hope that there will not be more differences, and we seek only unity of the Libyan people under the Libyan one flag.
Yes.
So I am optimistic, but a little bit reserved because I am afraid of unknown interference from here or there.
Yes.
But let us say that the major movement is going to the right direction. We hope it will continue like that.
Yes. Ambassador Bayoumi, what challenges await the government during the months up to the 24th of December elections?
The first and the biggest challenge is the terrorists who are staying in Libya. 20,000 people, Turkey brought them to Libya, and we have to find a peaceful way to get rid of them. Where to send them? To Syria, to Turkey, I don't know from where they came.
Yes.
So this is a security challenge which is threatening any thoughts of development or stability. Then we start, the second challenge is the development. And I think Libya has enough resources to finance its development.
Yes.
Here comes the third challenge: who will be dominating the wealth of Libya in the field of oil and gas?
Yes.
All of these challenges must be settled here or there. Then Libya, I think, will be in a very good situation.
Indeed. Sir, President Sisi said that all parties should actually move on in order to realize the political settlement and create a good atmosphere for the Libyan dialogue. How do you read the statement?
Very important, and with my humble experience in Africa, this is the disease everywhere in Africa, where some people are looking with more estimation to their tribe, not to their country or their flag.
Yes.
We don't feel this in Egypt because we feel that we are Egyptian wherever we are, whether we are from Alexandria or Damietta or Aswan. This is not the case in Sudan, this is not the case in Libya or any place in Africa, unfortunately. Yes. So we shall reach a successful situation if we convince them to forget about the tribe, that the benefit of the country is above all, and they can gain much more even for their tribe if they support the aims and the challenges of their country, not their tribe.
Yes. Also, Ambassador Bayoumi, President Sisi expressed support for the Libyan government, saying that there is readiness to introduce all kind of help to achieve the political stability. What kind of help can Cairo present to Libya in the current phase?
Thank God that we are not only a big country, we are a huge country.
Yes.
This is the largest country in the Arab world.
Indeed.
And the most strong country in the whole region. And Egypt is the oldest country in the world that has a lot of experience everywhere, whether we are talking about the epidemic COVID-19 or the economic impact of the disease. Egypt is one country which everybody is congratulating because we succeeded to face the economic impact of the disease much better than anywhere else.
Yes.
All of these things, we can give our experience to our brothers in Libya.
Yes.
Of course, we can help them to establish many projects in the field of petrochemical industries, in agriculture, in tourism, many things we can help them. And don't forget always that we have 2 million Egyptians there.
Yes.
And by the way, I am dreaming of starting a deeper relations between Egypt, Libya, and Sudan, because these are the closest countries to us, and I think this will be a very good move for the stability and development of the area.
Indeed. Ambassador Gamal Bayoumi, former Assistant Foreign Minister, always a pleasure to listen to your precious input, sir. Thank you very much for being with us. And moving on to this report, where a newly appointed CAF President, Patrice Motsepe, said that one of his main goals upon taking on the new role is to improve the football in the African continent. More details with Samah Sharif.
South African billionaire Patrice Motsepe was announced as the new president of the Confederation of African Football, CAF, on Friday. Motsepe succeeds Malagasy Ahmad, who is serving a 2-year FIFA ban over governance issues and will require his vast array of business skills to fix the organization. The 58-year-old businessman is the owner and president of the Mamelodi Sundowns club since 2003. He is the brother-in-law of President of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa. He became the first South African to take on the CAF presidency. Upon taking the job, he said he would like to thank the people of Egypt for what they have provided over many years for CAF. He said CAF must contribute to raising and improving the budget of the Champions League, and everyone should work to develop this work because it will positively affect football in the entire continent. He said people want to watch good football, so in order to create commercial value, there is need to reach a certain level of playing. Motsepe also talked about the influence Egyptian powerhouse Al Ahly have on teams in Africa and the region in general. He said there is need for several other clubs to follow suit in order to see a similar effect.
Well, with that, our dear viewers, we come to the end of this edition of Africa Today. Thank you for watching.